right, whatever. Let's see. So Andrew's son, he's on Naya burn, like you suggested, and he's on he's on the cattle version. So what do we got on the other side?
James Adan on looks like allies, collected company allies. So he's got Had a Free Blade, Champion of the Parish, Expedition Envoy, Ordinary Survivalist, Kazandu Blade Master, Akun Battle Slinger, One Lantern Scout, Cabrera Evangel, and Fire Mantle Mage. So I've seen this
is
deck.
a collected company deck?
Collected
it
company,
is, right?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
There's a few ways you can build this. I've seen slivers as well in Modern.
With collected company,
Collected company.
And Aether Vial, actually. I've seen that quite a lot.
Yeah, exactly. No Aether Vial here. The mana's a bit better because you're only playing 3 colors.
Slivers requires a huge commitment.
Slivers requires like 4 at least. 4 colors at least.
It's kind of crazy.
But they have the Sliver Hive at least. But I guess now Ally Encampment does the same kind of thing.
That's true, yeah. I mean, they have, I don't know if he's playing Cavern of Souls, but
he's playing Cavern. No Ally Encampment, which I'm interested to see because that's basically...
That's like free, isn't it?
It's like a City of Brass for allies with an upside. Because you can return one in response to a removal spell or something.
Yeah, or, I mean, in the case of the old allies, you can, like, re-trigger the counter effect, like, gain a counter.
So I have a quiz question for you.
What's up?
James has 1 card from Shadows over Innistrad in his sideboard.
Okay.
Just 1 from that set.
All right.
Which card do you think it is?
What? James? So he's on the Naya allies?
Naya allies.
That's a pretty broad question. You're gonna have to lead me on a little bit. So what specifically about this card would he want?
Well, I'm just wondering, like, what card do you think would slot into this kind of strategy?
I have no idea. Like,
it's not a creature.
It's not a creature.
It's not a creature.
Oh, is it Arlen Cord?
It's Arlen Cord.
Yeah,
he has 1 Arlen Cord in his sideboard.
That's kind of spicy. I mean, I don't know what you're necessarily gaining, but it does flip and then lightning bolt.
Well, if you play like, I feel like this deck might struggle against the, removal heavy like Jund or Grixis kind of decks. Having a Planeswalker.
Yeah, Planeswalkers are always very good against.
It's just going to be great. Yeah. Exactly. And Arlen Cord's better than most, I think. I think she's powerful enough to potentially make an impact on Modern.
You think so?
If not in Jund,
I mean, to be honest,
deck similar.
Maybe not specifically in this Naya Allies deck, but in general, like against Control, I really, really like Xenagos, personally.
Xenagos?
Yeah, Xenagos or even Domri. Like, Domri's actually pretty crazy in this deck. Because then, first off, if they don't have a lot of ways, like, we're talking about Control. If they don't have a lot of ways to interact with the Domri, and then he ultimates, every single card you draw is a bomb.
It's true, yeah.
Like, it's actually more than a bomb, because doesn't he also get Grand Indestructible?
I forget he gives like 5 keywords.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I forget what they are. I think it's Double Strike, Haste, Trample. I'm not sure if Indestructible is among them.
I think it is. I think they become mini Achromas.
Do they?
Yeah.
But I know they also get Hexproof.
Yeah. But back to this match in particular. So that Cavern is naming humans. And
it's probably naming ally. Although, I suspect they're all humans as well. I suspect it makes no difference whether ally or human is the name. Yeah, it looks like every creature he has is an ally and a human, so.
I mean, it may well, this Ondu Cleric actually, that's in the sideboard though.
Ondu Cleric also a human.
No, it's a core, isn't it? Core.
I think it's I don't think so. I think it's a human ally.
Oh, maybe.
Because it's definitely an ally.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's got cohort.
Beyond a doubt.
Yeah, beyond a doubt. In the sideboard, he's got a couple non-ally, non-humans, like Kozali Pride Mage. But the main deck is entirety humans and allies. So he's facing a lot of pressure here. The Swift Spear is already poked in for a couple damage, and then there's these 2 Rift Bolts waiting in the wings that are going to go upstairs.
It's actually kind of hard to deploy onto this board, right? Like, otherwise you just lose your guys to Rift Bolts, but what are you going to do? Otherwise they just go to the Dome, and that's also not good.
Yeah, I feel like he has to try and race. Like, he has 1 Lantern Scout main deck, which would be House if he finds it.
Wow, this is a pass.
That could just represent, let's see, he has 4 Path to Exile, 4 Lightning Bolts, so this could be just a removal spell on the Swift Spear. If it's Path to Exile, I imagine we're not going to see a response to these Rift Bolts. Yeah, so
wow.
I think it's got to be Path to Exile here. There's nothing else that makes sense to me. He's going to go ahead and attack for 3, and here's the Path to Exile. Yep.
It's got to be, right? Yeah,
it is. Going to go ahead and get out Basic Mountain. But if Andrew's on a burn-heavy hand, 9 points, that's 3 spells.
Yeah, that's basically nothing, to be honest.
Exactly. If he's on a more creature-heavy hand, James can maybe interact with that a little bit more, can flood the board a bit, but
yeah.
I mean, I have another 1-drop.
Well, let's see. We're about to see this. Wow. Okay, so he may be on. I think he's on 3 cards now. 2 cards.
2 in hand. They better be burn spells. If they're lands, I think James can clean this up in short order, assuming he can meaningfully impact the board each turn.
All right. So fetch land into.
He has a Collector Company in hand. I see. Going down to 8. 2 Boros Charms away from death. I think Andrew has 2 lands in hand. I think it's 2 fetch lands.
Yep.
2 wooded foothills.
2 wooded foothills. That does not bode well for Andrew.
No.
And the thing is, here you still could, depending on, does he have Searing Blaze in the main, or is it...
Andrew?
Oh, I'm sorry, I have Andrew's deck.
You have Andrew's deck list.
Yeah, he has 2 Searing Blaze in the main. So, because he has 2 lands in hand, obviously, like, cracking here just to thin a little bit, even though it's not crazy impactful, I think that's still fine, but I wonder if he'll think to do it.
Battleslinger.
Battleslinger.
Trigger.
So, haste.
Yep.
Get you for 4. Alright. I mean, this could end very quickly. I mean, more allies off the top, like, if he draws the, I forget which one it is, but there is definitely an ally that gives lifelink to the team. Like, that would be pretty devastating.
Yeah, just the one Lantern Scout.
Oh, Lantern Scout, that's right.
Even just another one of these Akum Battleslingers, I think, is pretty close to lethal here. Because when they enter, they give +1/+0 to your team, and they themselves have haste.
Yeah.
So that would represent 2 from the Battleslinger, 2 from the Battleslinger, 3 from the Envoy, so that's 7 damage right there.
And depending on what James's draw here is, he may... Okay, so this...
It's like a bolt upstairs. Yeah,
bolt upstairs. Okay, goes to 5.
I think James has won this game.
Yeah, because the Coco guarantees it, right? Like,
well, I think
any hit off the Coco, or just a creature in hand.
Any ally here is a hit.
Yeah, because I actually can't see his hand. It's another Battleslinger. So...
Oh, so that's well
There's 2 things he's obviously worried about here. Is like, well, if he has a removal spell for the first Battleslinger, then it's not lethal, so... But otherwise, I think, in this position at 8 with Andrew on 2 cards and having 5 lands in play, I'd probably just go for it.
Yeah.
Andrew does have a Tarkus command in hand, so like a Lantern Scout actually wouldn't be that insane here, except for the fact that it kills Andrew, right? So, but...
Well, it doesn't... Akum Battleslinger does not give your other creatures haste. It gives them +1/+0. So...
Oh, it itself gets haste?
It has haste.
Oh, it has haste. I'm sorry.
He's got another Battleslinger in hand, which is going to be lethal here that we know. He's going to probably opt for that because that is lethal now instead of the Coco. Yeah, Battleslinger. That's going to trigger, and Andrew's had enough.
Yeah.
If Andrew had a Bolt there, he could survive the turn by killing the Expedition Envoy and taking 4.
Yeah. I mean, I'd certainly play... Honestly, I did not see Adan coming back from that after taking 2 Rift Bolts with no play on turn 2. Like, that seemed to spell, like, his immediate doom, to be honest.
He just needed... Andrew to have 2 lands in hand, and Andrew obliged. Andrew had 2 hands in hand.
You know what? I don't want to play any spells.
Yeah. I'm going to just...
That's how I don't want to play Magic, period.
So looking at the sideboard now.
Yeah, what are we going to bring in? Let's take a look.
So from James's side, it looks like he has 2 Ruined Halo, 1 Lantern Scout. I'm not sure what else would be great in this matchup. Just running through, he's got the Arlen Court. I don't think that comes in.
No.
2 Undo Cleric. They probably come in. They don't seem great, though. They're pretty slow. But I imagine...
They are kind of slow, but
what are they for? They've got to be for this matchup.
I mean, there's another one too. Isn't there another like ally that just says whenever an ally comes into play you gain a life? I mean, I think those were in the original Zendikar, but maybe they cost more than 3 mana, so they don't go well with Coco.
Yeah, it's a 2 mana something like Undo Cleric.
Oh,
I'm sorry. This is Undo Cleric. Yeah, Undo War Cleric is the new one.
Yeah, this one is. I'm pretty sure
this is the original.
Yeah,
this is the one that you gain life for the number of allies you control.
Yeah.
Whenever an ally enters.
So this is definitely coming in.
Okay.
That
makes a lot more sense. Man, Undo Cleric, Undo War Cleric.
Yeah, really, they didn't.
Really?
They didn't even try.
Yeah.
Didn't even try.
I think 2 Ruined Halos are probably good enough for this matchup. Like they're almost the removal spells for whatever creature he's played.
It's true. No. I mean, because again, like the burn deck in particular doesn't play that many creatures. Like Ruined Halo is just a straight up.
Even if they play creatures, like let's say they go Swiftspear, you go Ruined Halo, Monster Swiftspear.
That's true.
You're not taking damage from that card ever again.
You're not thinking to play around. I mean, you have to deploy your Swiftspears. You're not thinking to play around Ruined Halo. So
no, and if like let's say they suspend a Rift Bolt, and you'd be like, all right, Ruined Halo, Rift Bolt, target something else.
That's true.
You can target your guy. You're gonna target yourself. Can't target me.
Yeah.
Can't make that play.
Got him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. So what do you? So those are your top picks right now.
Let's think about it. Rest in Peace doesn't come in. Stony Silence, no. Pride Mage, Kataki. I suppose those are options if he wants cheaper cards, but I just don't think they're going to come in.
Well, I mean, so now on this side, so we've got 4 Destructive Revelry, 4 Core Firewalker, a Deflecting Palm, 4 Path to Exile, and 2 Skullcrack. So I am not 100% sure what Andrew would want here. However, I do think that at least the Deflecting Palm is fine. And maybe the Path to Exile as well. Like, you just want ways to interact with the creatures that are coming on board, because these allies aren't necessarily... I mean, they grow out of proportion really quickly.
They can. They definitely can. I'm not sure about the Deflecting Palm, just because there's no one source that hits him for a lot. It's going to be spread a lot of different creatures.
Going wide, yeah, for sure.
But Path to Exile, maybe Skullcrack even, if he's got something like Undo Cleric on his radar. Because Undo Cleric represents a lot of life in one turn.
Well, at the very least, he's got to imagine that maybe his opponent has Core Firewalkers. So, like, Skullcrack is okay.
Well, not against Firewalker.
Well, you can cast it and then start going off with your burn spells.
Yeah.
It's not great.
No.
But, I mean, when you have dead cards...
Just bring in Path to Exile.
I mean, Path to Exile is what's coming in, Chris.
Yeah.
We talked about this.
Is Core Firewalker an ally?
No,
No.
I don't think so. Is he a cleric? What is he?
Is
it Nomad?
He's a core.
Yeah, so Nomad.
Yeah, he's definitely a core.
Yeah. Are you sure?
It's in the name, so.
I've been deceived before.
It's true.
All right, so Andrew on the play. Let's see how this goes. Oh, with a mulligan to 6, man. At least it's to Vancouver, although Paris is nicer.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, we'll see. So I really don't know. I can't imagine Destructo Reverie coming in. He wouldn't want his own core Firewalkers. That doesn't make sense.
I mean, he saw 2 Akun Battleslingers and a Lightning Bolt, but I don't think they come in.
No, I think it's just Path to Exile. Path to Exile is just like the cleanest answer here.
And I would be interested in the Skullcrack, but he's got to be a little perceptive if he wants the Skullcrack. He has to know that Allies is capable of producing a lot of life in a single turn.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, Andrew does have like 2 Grim Lavamancer in the main, which are like just house.
That seems great.
Yeah, versus this deck. So maybe he doesn't need like anything crazy extra.
He's definitely got to keep now. He's got 2 lands at least with a
Nakadal.
turn 1 Nakadal and a Bolt to follow up. And I think 2 other spells. I think it's a 2-lander, so I think this is a 4-spell 2 lands, one of which is Nakadal, one of which is Bolt.
That's great. That's a
very
great start.
good end. I did see a glance of a Path to Exile in his deck, so it looks like those did come in, at least one.
I mean, I would bring in all 4. Let's see what he would take out. I mean, maybe Boros Charms. Boros Charms seem... No, they seem great.
No, just the rate on Boros Charm
is
pretty
it's
good.
too good. Maybe Spikes.
I think Eidolon.
Spike or Ripbolt. Really? I like Eidolon here.
Yeah.
Like, he's deploying like a couple creatures at a time, except for when he Cocos.
But in the decks where you have to race, Eidolon can really be a downside.
That's true.
Yeah.
So when they're interacting back, right? Yeah.
Exactly, and we saw that James has bolts and such. He's got
Oh, this
burn
Hada
outside of
Freeblade
creatures.
can get pretty nasty really quickly with. Now that there's like a couple 1-drops in the allied. Oh no, that's actually Hada Freeblade and then Expedition Envoy are the only 2 I think still.
And there's Champion of the Parish, which is not going to trigger the Freeblade, but will trigger off all the other humans.
Yeah, that's true.
So another creature that can grow.
So Andrew deciding on whether to shock himself here. Yeah, he has a Sacred Foundry in hand.
And a Goblin Guide looks like. This looks like a Goblin Guide. Yeah.
Okay, that's
coming
definitely
in.
Goblin Guide. Really?
Oh,
wait. I was gonna say
like
let's get that guy in play.
Shock.
There we go.
Let's hit for 1 more damage, I think.
Let's please. All right, so we're gonna get a trigger off this Goblin Guide.
So even though this is a mulligan to 6, this hand looks pretty strong.
This is a
for
very
Andrew.
strong hand, but
Yeah.
that Lightning Bolt spells Doom for something if James has a red source in hand. Obviously can't cast it off Cavern of Souls, so we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, and it looks like Andrew's about to play a Grim Lavamancer. So this Lightning Bolt is going to be tax. Is it going to kill the Nakadal? Is it going to kill the Lavamancer?
Yeah, this is a pretty hard decision actually.
Yeah.
And obviously he still has to have a red source, which does not have, so Lightning Bolt's dead.
Yeah.
This
this
is
turn at least. And he's shocking himself to 13 to get this Temple Garden into play.
I mean, chances are he's probably got a Path to Exile, or he's got to play
Survivalist? Maybe he's got a Cleric.
There's also the 2/2 with First Strike. I can't remember his name.
Blade Master.
Okay, so it's just a survivalist. So this Hada Freeblade is actually pretty decent. It blocks Goblin Guide and it is out of shock range.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the survivalist is not long for this world, I feel.
Yeah. So Andrew, I believe, has Bolt and Swift Spear as his last 2 cards.
Wow.
I think it's just going to be Swift Spear, kill your Freeblade.
Yeah.
Jam.
And then, actually, he can do that and then also kill the survivalist and get in for
if he
max.
Draws a land.
No, he doesn't need a land because he's going to Bolt and he has 2 in the. He has 1 in the bin already.
Well, but he's going to play the Swift Spear and then he's going to play the first Bolt.
Oh yeah,
he needs another red source. Yeah.
Yes. Good.
Looks like he drew another Nakadal. So he's got an interesting choice here. It looks like he might not deploy the Swift Spear if he wants to just kill the 2/3 and then put another 3/3 on board.
Especially these 2 particular allies, like the ones that. Yeah, these 2 particular allies, I would just get off the board.
He's just going for the throat here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the thing is, when the allies get past 3 toughness,
yeah,
it becomes very hard to get rid of them. So
I didn't love this, but it's fine.
I would probably attack with the Lavamancer. It seems kind of crazy.
No, I think you're supposed to.
I think just because he's so short on mana, I think he's going to be tied up for the most of this game. He's another Coddle in hand.
Mm-hmm. I think you're supposed to.
Yeah, getting in.
But giving
2 more damage.
The thing is, yeah, exactly. But the thing about that is like, so James does. So if he offers that trade or that chump, like he eats it and then he still has a creature next turn and he gets bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So that may not be like great for Andrew because this he may just win with this.
Lavamancer.
With his Lavamancer.
I guess that's fair. He doesn't have a burn spell in hand, so I guess the extra 2 damage is less important now since his last card's a creature.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Survivalist is almost priced into trading with a Goblin Guide or something.
See, here's the thing. I actually don't like the Swift Spear that much, to be honest. Like, I actually would have just shocked and cleared the board, and then... Yeah, like...
cleared the board.
Yeah, I would have just cleared the board.
I think you can infer that James is going to block. something.
I suppose that's fair.
I like the Swift. I like committing the Swift Spear. I'm not sure if the Nikado might have been better though, because the Swift Spear represented 2 damage this turn, and 1 next turn. The Nikado would have been 3 on the next turn. So I guess it comes down to whether Andrew finds a instant or sorcery to cast and get a prowess trigger.
Sure.
But otherwise, I think I would have preferred to get the Nikado into play.
So this is representing 2 removal spells. The Path, I think, which is what
Tarkus Command? I think a Tarkus Command is the draw. That's got to be like game, right?
No, because again, I think this is 2 removal spells from James. He has to shock himself, fetch and shock, to get red source, to bolt to the cattle. No, I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, you're
and he has
taking 3 to yourself to deal 3.
And he has a Path Exile. Yeah, but these are real threats. But we'll see. I mean, being choked on mana does kind of obviously hurt Andrew quite a bit, but so he's thinking right now about whether he wants to shock this Expedition Envoy.
I don't see the point. I feel like he's got to put James on Path.
Yeah.
Right? And James has got to chump. If he's got...
Well, no, he knows about the Lightning Bolt, too, from the Goblin Guide.
Yeah, but that's 3. Like, he's either dealing 3 or... Yeah,
oh, wow,
this is just
he's
an
getting in. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's got a Tarkus Command. I mean, James is effectively at 5, and if any 2 of these creatures get through, that's going to be lethal. So he's going to be forced to block and Path, and then still have nothing on board. I imagine this is going to jump in front of the... If he's got a Tarkus Command on the radar, it's got to jump in front of the Lavamancer.
Yeah.
Because that'll get it off the board, even through a Tarkus Command.
Exactly.
And blocking the Swift Spear is going to be 1 more damage, but the difference between like 2 and 1 is pretty insignificant.
Alright, well, it looks like he's opting to block the Swift Spear.
And there's the Path.
He's going to path that. Okay, which is safe, because obviously if he's putting him on a Tarkus Command, we can still bolt something here.
Mm-hmm. So if you're Andrew, you probably just let this happen. You still just fire up the command, save your Swift Spear, deal 3 damage, and then next turn, any burn spell plus the Lavamancer is going to kill your opponent.
Yeah.
So James really needs like a cleric and another ally.
Yeah.
That would potentially gain 3 life and put him a little bit more comfortably.
Cleric would be kind of ridiculous.
Cleric?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be what?
That
4
might be
life?
that'd
2
be
and 2?
That'd be pretty backbreaking. I mean, they are 1/1s, but putting yourself like, I don't know, if you just put yourself to 9 here, that'd be pretty crazy. But that's not going to happen.
So here's the command. This is going to be 5 damage total.
Yeah.
2 from the Lavamancer, 3 from the Tarkus Command itself. Swiftspear is going to survive. And James is going to fall to 3.
Interesting. Oh, yeah. So
I imagine you fetch here.
So James opts not to bolt here, which I think you were saying it's like you're just going to bolt yourself for no reason. Like, that makes sense, too.
Yeah, well, you can't. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
I guess he could have in response to the Tarkus Command.
Yeah.
But then he's just going to effectively just go down a life to get the Lavamancer off the table. I actually think that would have been not a bad play. I mean, what is the difference between 2 and 1?
Well, nothing. Not against this deck. Yeah.
No, but he wouldn't have a Lavamancer.
It does mean that like fetch lands are dead, but those were dead anyways.
Probably. I think that that's something you should have done in response to the Tarkus Command. I think you should
kill the Lavamancer.
Fetch, shock, kill the Lavamancer.
Yeah.
And then you're at 1 as opposed to 2, but this Lavamancer isn't sitting here threatening to just kill you on the untap.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, like almost no matter what you do, you have to have a removal spell for it anyways.
Or gain enough life to get out of range.
Yeah. And
so
he would be at 4 here, right?
No, it would only be 1 because he has to fetch shock.
Yeah,
Lavamancer dealt 2.
Sure.
So he'd be at 1 less life. Windswept Teeth is the draw. He's probably got to go for it. I think he has a Coco and a Cabrera Evangel in hand. I see the Coco. I see the Cabrera Evangel. I can't see the 2 cards on the left, though.
The problem is none of those help. He has to kill the Lavamancer.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Or get enough life.
Well,
if he Cocos into 2 War Clerics, that's enough life.
Like we talked about, sure. So he just has a removal spell. Lightning Bolt, okay.
And then that means he's got to play
Cabrera Evangel. He's got to fetch to 1.
And play the Evangel.
It is a 2/3, so... Oh, he has a 2-drop.
It's just another Survivalist.
Okay, fair enough.
So Andrew's last card is Nikado, so he's not dead quite yet. He can't not kill James this turn.
And Path Exile.
That's going to do it.
Dead.
Yep. All right.
But he's got to... Obviously, he's trying to maybe think about playing around with a removal spell.
But that's the ball game.
Got him. Okay, cool. So we're going to move on to Game 3. Interestingly enough, so we did see those Path Exiles like we talked about.
Yeah.
But we actually didn't see any sideboard cards necessarily from...
Nope. He's only got a couple that I would consider, just the Ondu Cleric, Lantern Scout, maybe Rune Tailor.
Yeah, but I mean, even in that game, like with as much pressure as he was under, he played 5 creatures. That was probably turn 4 or 5. Oh, it was turn 4 because he hit a land drop every turn, right?
Yeah.
So,
For James,
I mean,
yeah.
if he had an Onto War Cleric anywhere in the mix, that would have been a huge game. Like,
Well, it would have forced one of the, either the Lavamancer or one of the burn spells to get that thing off the table.
Yeah,
It would have bought him a little bit of time.
yeah.
I am interested. I think like a little.
Looks like Andrew's going back to the sideboard.
I mean, that makes sense. Game 2 and Game 3, if you're going to be on the draw, there are certain cards that get a lot worse.
Yeah.
Goblin Guide, for
Goblin
instance.
Guide being one, yeah.
Yeah, if your opponent's going to have the play and can lead with any of these Expedition Envoy type cards,
Yeah,
Goblin Guide loses a lot of value.
it's true.
Like, would you play Shock and Burn?
Huh?
Would you play Shock?
No.
Yeah. Goblin Guide is effectively Shock.
when your options are much better.
Mm-hmm. On the draw, Goblin Guide is going to do 2 at most, I think.
Yeah. I mean, just watching when Andrew was thumbing through though, like, so Lava Spikes are out, but it looks like that's less than the 4 core Firewalkers that should be in the sideboard. So I think maybe there's like 1 or 2 in there.
It could be. And
I mean, it does blank at least one of the removals from James. So
and James has red creatures.
Yeah, there are red creatures. Exactly. So it does do a decent blocking duty, and maybe you just need to go a little bit more creature heavy because you're getting pressured so much, and then you just burn them out.
It's possible. Yeah, just make sure you don't die to these creatures on the other side, and then just find your Targus commands, find your Boros Charms, and eventually kill them without attacking.
Exactly. I mean, just find a way not to die because your burn spells will do that for you, right? Oh, we'll kill you. We'll end your opponent for you. So we're gonna go into game 3 here. I mean, these games have been, I don't know, I wouldn't say they're fairly typical. I don't see this ally deck almost ever. So I would love to see like a good Coco, but we don't get to that point, right?
It's tough, and I wouldn't be surprised if he shaves some.
Yeah, a 4-mana spell against burn.
When I play Abzan Company against burn, I usually shave at least 1, maybe 2 Cocos.
Really?
Just because they're so much worse than Cord. Cord finding your bullets, your Kitchen Finks, your Burnt and Forge Tender if you have one on the board, your Spell Skites.
Burnt and Forge Tender is also 1, right?
Cost 1.
Yeah, that's like a great bullet off of Cord.
It's good. It's worse against the Wild Nacatl, Path to Exile
I think
versions of burn.
I think that's why they opt in this direction, because Core Firewalker is such a problem for them, and less so than more so than Burnt and Forge Tender, obviously, because it's also a clock. Right.
Same thing, and that's why Path to Exile is a great sideboard for these burn decks because against like Jund or against any of these other green decks with Goyf.
Yep.
Goyf is probably one of the worst things for a burn player to see on turn 2.
Yep.
That thing will race you.
Yeah, not just that. Besides that, like it'll brick wall 4 days.
Yeah.
And then when it's ready to turn sideways, you can't stop it.
Exactly. There's no clean way to get it off the table with red.
Yeah.
So you got to turn to Path to Exile.
Yeah, like some of the red decks were like opting to try maybe Roast, but Path to Exile is so much better.
Yeah, Roast is just so inefficient.
It really is.
And you really don't care about giving your opponent a land when you're playing Burn.
Yeah, you don't.
So Path to Exile, I think, is if you're playing white, that's a very strong sideboard card.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously it's so strong that we see it in both these decks. Like that's just how efficient it is. So this Naya allies, I am pretty sure it's just naming allies, but the first one did say human because
it's gotta
Champion of the
human.
Peerage is exactly. Yeah. The Champion of the Peerage is not an ally.
But
so.
as pointed out, human is, I guess that's the difference.
Yeah.
Everything is a human. Everything but Champion of the Parish is an ally.
Is an ally,
right? So Champion of the Parish is the one reason to name human with your caverns.
So yeah, this is an interesting start because we haven't seen a champion start quite yet. So I want to know if maybe Andrew wants to overvalue it or because this guy also gets out of hand quickly.
He certainly can, but I mean I think you can figure that the champion's going to be a 3/3 at most next turn. So if Andrew has a Swift Spear or a Goblin Guide, I think he deploys that first, and then kind of reevaluates whether he needs to remove this champion with a burn spell or save it to the face.
Perhaps.
I mean, just because it's going to be a 3/3 at most. Like James is going to have 2 lands, he can play 2 humans.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the worst case scenario.
It looks like Andrew's contemplating a leading with Riftbolt. I like this better actually
than the Swift Spear.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets in 1 less damage, but the Riftbolt's being one of the worst burn spells because it's obviously delayed.
Mm-hmm. You want to kind of fire them off as they come.
Oh, he had a Goblin Guide in hand too.
I just like this. I didn't know it was a Goblin Guide. Okay.
He's got a Swift Spear, a Goblin Guide, a Searing Blaze.
Goblin Guide way more. He has a Searing Blaze? Does he have another land? Maybe that's part of what's going on
here. I did not see another land. He was on the draw, so maybe he kept a 1-lander.
Yeah. Is this... Uh-oh.
Champion number 2. All right.
This is... So if he has an Expedition Envoy... Okay, he does not.
Mm.
That would have been kind of crazy, though.
Would have been strong.
All right, so what are we going to do here? So which one? All right, cool.
He's got to kill it, yeah.
Yeah, there's
His
no
hand
way.
is not...
Not with double champion.
Yeah. Oh, drew a land off the top, so I think...
Searing Blaze is going to come
tough.
in.
Again, Searing Blaze can kill that thing next turn almost assuredly. I would be interested in going Swift Spear, Goblin Guide, getting a clock in. He can play both of those this turn.
That's true.
He also has a Lavamancer in hand he can think about deploying at some point.
Well, as I mentioned before, I think Lavamancer is actually the key to this matchup. I mean, it didn't actually activate last game, but like the threat of it's almost just as strong. So
just repeated removal
Yeah.
for these allies. But we have to consider that Andrew does not have another land in hand. So
Oh,
maybe
pretty
he's
sure he
priced
doesn't.
into Searing Blaze here because that landfall might not be active
yeah,
next
'cause
turn
he
or the
doesn't
turn
have
after.
another. Yeah, he doesn't have another outlet for it,
Yeah.
or another way to trigger. I'm sorry. So
His hand is all spells.
yeah, I think he has to do it.
Yep.
It really hurts his development, and I think if we see a real 3-drop next turn, like a Lantern Scout, or not Lantern Scout, the other one, the Evangel. Evangel into Lantern Scout, or Evangel into almost anything. Like these guys get unblockable.
Yeah, he's got Fire Mantle Mage, but I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out in this matchup.
No, that's the one. Is that the loot one?
No, it's a 3-mana Menace. It's a
Oh yeah, that one's
red
insane.
3-drop.
That one's actually really good.
It's good, but I don't think it shines here.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I actually really do like that one.
All right, so Andrew at 15 here.
Mm-hmm.
James's life total not updated. I believe he should be at 16. Yeah, one fetch land
one
and
fetch
Searing
land, yeah.
Blaze.
See how this goes. I mean, so far we've seen almost all decks with lightning bolts, except for Lantern Control.
Yeah.
Out of the 4 decks, this is 6 decks now. 6 decks we've seen, almost every single one of them, had lightning bolts,
Except for the Lantern.
except for Lantern. So like, we can reasonably assume that's a really powerful Magic card to
And
be playing in this
Affinity.
format.
But they've got
they-
Gallblast.
They have
They've got their
Gallblast.
own version.
Yeah, they've got a better lightning bolt
Upgrade.
technically. Yeah, not strictly, but
So another
Most of
Searing
the time.
Blaze in hand is the last card. So Searing Blaze, Bolt, Swift Spear, Lavamancer, Goblin Guide is Andrew's son's hand.
if Andrew draws a land, and this is not like, let's see what this card is. Okay, so
Oh, he does have a
he
Fire
does
Mantle
have it.
Mage.
So if Andrew draws a land, he can go Goblin Guide or Swift Spear into Searing Blaze, and that would be wow. So it just happened.
I don't know if I even care about Searing Blaze in this Fire Mantle. If you go Swift Spear, attack, and then if he blocks, you just bolt him to the face, kill the Fire Mantle Mage, and then play Lavamancer. I think I like that a little bit better.
Isn't it a trade though, because it's a 3/2?
Fire Mantle Mage is a 2/2.
I don't know about that.
Doesn't trust me. How much limited did you play for Battle for Zendikar?
All right, fair enough.
'Cause
I'll let you. I'll defer
Side
to your
wager?
expertise.
Want
No
a little wager
no
here?
side bets.
You want to wager?
No, I think
You sure?
I think I'm okay.
It's a 2/2. So, like I said, if I were Andrew, I probably would not have cracked this fetch. Looks like he's already committed to that, though, since it's in the graveyard. I would have offered this block, because if James blocks, he gets to bolt to the face, which is something the burn deck kind of wants to do anyways, and then just eat the Fire Mantle Mage for free. And James is down to, I think, 3 cards in hand. I can't quite make out if it's 3 or 4, but certainly doesn't have that much action. His best play on turn 3 was Fire Mantle Mage, which is not an impressive play against the burn deck.
No, not quite. Not necessarily. So, prioritizing double white here, though. I wonder if he has the core Firewalker in hand. It didn't look like it. I mean, I don't understand why.
Well, maybe they're just in the deck, and he wants to make sure they're not dead if he draws them.
True.
He doesn't have another land.
True.
His spells in hand are all red, so clearly he does not need the fixing. But if he's got double white spells in the deck, I think it makes sense to get this. So I think that pretty much implies he boarded some number of them in.
Yeah, definitely. Or maybe just like being able to cast like red spell, and Path to Exile. Like, actually, this just seems better. That's true.
Yeah, you already have the white source.
Yeah.
And his 3 cards are 2 creatures and a lightning bolt. I wonder if he's going to be cheeky and pass with this potentially Coco at the ready, or he's going to go for main phase.
I mean, we haven't seen a Coco yet, and I'm ready. I just want to see it.
What would you main phase it, or would you try and do it at instant speed?
I would try to instant speed. I don't think there's anything Andrew can do that interacts with it.
Well,
so.
he's got Skullcracker or Target's Command effects to fizzle any life gain.
That's true.
That's what I would be concerned with, because if you boarded in the clerics,
Which, yeah, he probably did.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be
then
reasonable.
I would want to make sure that that life gain does not get fizzled by an Antarctic Command, by a Skullcrack, by whatever else. Also, if Andrew has removal spells in response, the clerics gain based on number of allies you control.
Yeah,
if he
check
can
on resolution.
take 1 or 2 off the board,
Mm-hmm.
Then obviously they're gaining less life. So he has a Bolts. I think he's going to realize that this is Coco, but I feel like there's not much you can really do. I feel like you have to
No,
play
you
Goblin
have-
Guide and attack with both.
Yeah, you have to commit to it no matter what, I think. Or not necessarily commit to it is what I mean, but you're going to attack into it. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Goblin Guide coming in.
These creatures aren't the best blockers.
So he can trigger this before the Arid Mesa, which he decides
does,
to do.
Sure.
I would actually be interested in fetching first. The reason being, you want
To see an ally on top, yeah.
Well, no, yeah. The reason is you want to hit 2 creatures with Coco, and if the card on top is a land, you take that from the top to your hand.
Mhm.
Now, if he has a land on top, that's just going to be part of the 6 he looks at.
Mhm.
So I think fetching in response here is actually a little bit tighter of a play. He doesn't care about getting the extra land. He just wants to make sure this Coco
he
hits
already
2
has
creatures.
4, right? So, yeah.
So this is going to be Collected Company. We can only presume. Yep, there it is.
All right.
Andrew has no responses. One card in hand is Lightning Bolts. Or he's got 2, Lightning Bolt, Grim Lavamancer.
No Hallowed Moonlight in this format?
Oh, that'd be sick here, right? Hollowed Moonlight. Get you.
I mean, that would be really ridiculous, to be honest. Because that represents almost lethal. That would be like Hallowed Moonlight.
Ooh, Evangel,
Wow.
Survivalist.
Okay. That's a trigger, though. Like, right, he can put that...
So he can kill one, but then his allies are still going to get pro whatever he chooses,
That's
which is
true.
going to be red. So I think this Goblin Guy is going to just be suicided into the Survivalist if he goes with
Survivalist
Lightning
is
Bolts.
a 3/3, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
One from itself, one from that, yeah.
He's going to kill this in response, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The Survivalist is still going to get to eat something for free.
It's going to eat the Whisper, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Swiftspear being a 2/3, Goblin Whoop being a 2/2, but you have a 3/3 in play,
Yeah.
and Swiftspear has the chance to grow bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
You just eat the Swiftspear, I think.
So you want to eat it here.
Yeah. Like, Goblin Guy is always going to be a 2-power creature, and you have a 3/3 already.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually think this is turned around for James. If he has another action card in hand, I like his position a lot.
Yeah.
You know, this Grim Lavamancer is going to still apply some pressure. You know, there's a million cards in the graveyard. He's going to have to find an answer to it or gain some life. Looks like he has a Lightning Bolt
Another
in hand.
Coco? Jeez.
Is that what the draw was?
Yeah, another Coco. So if he goes land, pass with Coco up, actually he could just bolt this Grumble Officer just to protect his life total a little bit more.
Do you know what I would do? I would probably Coco main face
Yeah, just to make your guy huge.
and attack.
Yep.
Like, Andrew's at 9, he's at 8.
Yeah. Okay, he's gonna go for it.
Looks like he's agreeing
I don't know if I
with me.
saw that other land as the thing, but yeah.
Even if not, he's at 8.
Yeah.
Andrew has no cards in hand.
This is a tipping point.
Yeah, I think this is where he stabilizes. Man, that Hollowed Moonlight really made the difference. Oh, there's an Evangel.
Another Evangel. So that's an unblockable guy getting
Yeah,
in.
if he does decide to attack, it will be for 4, and Andrew cannot do anything about it.
No, more than 4.
Just 4. Just one creature that doesn't have Sonic Sickness.
Oh, he's just gonna pass?
No, I'm not sure if that
I
was a
doubt that.
passer. He's probably just naming the colors.
Oh, sure.
He probably named red and then named something else.
It's because you have to think about Path Exile, right? Like you did see it last game.
Mm-hmm. And what's interesting about abilities like this is if Andrew lets the ability to resolve and wants to hear the color, that means the ability has happened. He cannot
Yep.
respond and be like,
No.
oh, you name white?
Same
Path.
as Fighting Needle, yeah.
Yeah, same kind of effect where...
If you
let
name
that-
it, it's assumed it's resolved. Yeah.
Exactly. So, Andrew, I just don't know how he can get out of this.
No. I mean, at 0 cards, it's gonna be pretty hard. And especially with a Lightning Bolt in hand, I'm pretty sure James is just gonna bolt this Lavamancer off the table, and it's gonna be pretty elementary from there.
Agreed. If James was on air, Andrew can hope to just draw, like, running burn spells. Because the Lavamancer does represent 2 damage. Oh, man. If he shocks here, he has to bolt the Lavamancer.
Ooh.
He's dead to Boros Charm.
He should not.
He's dead to Boros Charm. Oh, my goodness. James, what are you doing?
That was not good.
No, if you shock, you have to kill the Lavamancer.
Yeah, that was kind of loose.
That being said, I don't think Andrew drew Boros Charm.
No.
I think that's an easy, you're at 6, dead kind of play. Swift Spear. Alright, and he's going to pass it back. Yeah, this shock, he's not out of it, but if James has any ally, his creatures are unblockable.
Yeah. So, I don't think I saw one in his hand,
Ugh.
but
He has Lightning
we'll
Bolt
see.
and Land? Is that the last 2?
I think so. Yeah. Lightning Bolt land.
Cavern of Souls was the draw.
Cavern of Souls.
I think Andrew has a chance here. I think Andrew can draw another just draw a Boros Charm and potentially...
It doesn't need to be a Boros Charm, right? Like he shocks him here. Oh no, but it's gonna get bolted, right? So yeah, you're right.
Well, yeah, he shocks him here to I guess he's got to kill it.
Andrew being at 4 here has to block everything.
Whether he knows it or not, James shocked the Stomping Ground.
Yeah.
So Andrew's got to be thinking, well,
He's got
that can
Bolt.
only mean Lightning Bolt,
Yeah,
right? Like,
there's no way.
what else is there?
Mutagenic growth? Nah.
No. You pay 2 life to not pay 2 life. Like,
Yeah, that's
that
true.
doesn't, yeah. Logic there is flawed. Andrew's deciding whether he can play around Bolt, but I think you have to, knowing that James shocked the Stomping Ground. There is no other card I could think of that would make that even close to a consideration of a play. He's working through it in his head. Yep. He decides the same thing.
He's got to block everything.
Yep, and he's going to take his outs. If he draws Boros Charm, he wins. I think Andrew's playing this very well, and James gave up a little bit of value by shocking with the Stomping Ground. I don't think he needed to die to Boros Charm here, but he will. He will die to Boros Charm if Andrew draws it.
If Andrew draws it, definitely.
Yep. I don't think there's a single other card in the deck that can get him out of this.
No, there isn't.
Slam it, Andrew. Slam it. Oh, this is way too...
Yeah, doesn't have it. Is he going to reveal? Like, what'd you have? He did have the lightning bolt. Oh, a Tarkus
So
command.
Oh,
Jeez.
just because it's Tarkus command, I would pass the turn. I would make my opponent kill me. If my opponent shocks or fetches a land,
Yeah.
by mistake,
Who knows, right? Yeah.
you win.